The turnover for Utah. Edwards gets it back and threw it down and one.
Unstoppable or unbelievable, Ant-Man is a basketball prodigy. His game is next level, explosive dunks, slick handles, and deep range shooting. He's got this fearless competitive edge that sets him apart. Edwards doesn't just play, he entertains. Whether it's a highlight reel slam or a buzzer-beating three, he delivers excitement.
You bet!
What's cool is his versatility. He can take over as a scorer or dish out assists. And his work ethic? It's top-notch. He's always striving to improve, and you can see it in his game. Edwards is a rising star, and it's thrilling to witness his journey in the NBA. Edwards' rookie scoring was right up there with the best we've seen this century. His growth throughout the season was impressive, putting him in rare rookie territory. Despite the team's struggles during Edwards' rookie year, he has shown brilliance with his confident demeanor, natural talent, and drive to improve. Is Minnesota's best shot at playoff contention. His star potential will shine through. If he keeps up the free throws, boosts playmaking, ups defensive IQ, and maintains efficiency, he's on the brink of stardom. Just ask Yuta Watanabe.
Okay, that wasn't turned over. Anthony Edwards, that time he does finish with the exclamation point.
You can't flip on an NBA postgame show or tune into a national sports podcast without hearing everyone rave about the Timberwolves. And guess who's usually the first one getting all the praise? Yep, it's him, the standout Wolves player who, by the way, is only 22 years old. This guy's making some serious waves in the league. Since joining the NBA, Edwards has continued to impress with his performance on the court. He is putting up 27, 5, and 5, and playing good defense as the best player on a 50-plus win team, and has improved in almost every way in each season thus far. Made his second All-Star team this year, and has a very good shot at second-team All-NBA this year. Standing at 6'4" and weighing 225 pounds, Edwards is known for his explosive athleticism, scoring ability, and versatility on the court. Before he came into the league, one of the knocks on his NBA future was that he would never develop into an efficient shooter, and if there was any criticism Edwards took to heart in his 4-year NBA career, it was that one. Since entering the league, Edwards has revamped his shooting technique. Jordan and Chris Hines, his player development coach with the Wolves, are always refining Edwards' shot mechanics. They focus on ensuring his shooting form is clean, bringing the ball up from his waist to the follow-through with a correct 90-degree elbow angle, and finishing the shot by extending his follow-through upward, rather than ending with a downward motion. But Edwards hasn't lost interest in figuring out how teams defend him. That's been his major improvement in the latter part of the season. When Karl-Anthony Towns was sidelined and defenses honed in on Edwards, he had to learn to make smart reads and decisions without
with
the
his
ball.
4 points in 5 minutes so far, and we'll keep our eye on him for the fourth quarter to step up yet again.
Which way did he go? Edwards!
Those lessons are now paying off with Towns back in the playoffs. Minnesota's roster isn't flush with a bunch of high-volume shooters. It's pretty much just Edwards and Karl-Anthony Towns, Mike Conley, Rudy Gobert, Kyle Anderson, and Jaden McDaniels aren't all demanding double-digit shot attempts. So Edwards will always go to get the ball, and he's going to have a lot of opportunities to do so. But the best method of offense will always be for Edwards to draw attention, likely double teams, then get off the ball. Sometimes the ball will come back to Edwards in a position that's likely more advantageous for him to score. Other times, someone else will take a good shot. Edwards is really young and clearly still improving, especially in reducing turnovers and making better decisions. As his stats keep climbing each year, how great can he actually get? Just to clarify, Edwards didn't seek out comparisons like Tatum does with Kobe. But I think the body movement reminds me of MJ. He just sort of moves in a way that looks like early Jordan, but I also think it's kind of unfair to Edwards. Nobody is MJ. I see the similarities. Both have very charismatic and fearless personalities. I respect the hell out of Edwards, particularly when he takes the challenge of guarding the other team's best guy. The reasons he's compared to MJ: he actually resembles MJ a bit, physically. His playing style is reminiscent of MJ. Lots of dunks, drives, turnarounds, and defensive plays.
Booker the drive, denied! Met at the summit by Edwards.
Another close comparison with Edwards is D. Wade. I see him as the D. Wade of this generation. Top-notch on offense and defense, capable of leading a championship team, a regular on the All-NBA and All-Defensive teams, but often overlooked for individual awards due to the other generational talents he shares the spotlight with. Okay, so let's break it down. Usually the face of the league is an American player. Sponsors love them, they connect well with American customers, and let's face it, charisma doesn't always cross cultures easily, especially for non-NBA fans. Plus, Americans tend to prefer other Americans. When we talk about the face of the league, we really mean the most popular American player with mainstream appeal. Edwards could definitely become one of the top American players in a few years. His game is highlight-worthy. Dunks, fadeaways, crossovers. He's charismatic, funny, and fits the NBA superstar mold. Around 6'6", super athletic, and a scoring machine. No guarantees, but I agree he could be the only player my mom knows in a few years. Everyone's focused on his on-court potential, but let's not overlook his leadership and teamwork off the court. It's off the charts. He's a true leader by example, always lifting up his teammates. Remember, he's even inspired stars like Rudy Gobert and Karl-Anthony Towns to elevate their game. These are guys who've had weird relationships with teammates before, but Edwards has brought out the best in them like no one else can. The big thing to note about his defense is how far he's come since his rookie year. Back then, he struggled with switching and was considered one of the weaker defenders in the league.
One of those, you talk about things being contagious. I think that you see him go in, you see him, it's what Boston's done.
Timberwolves fans would have been happy with just a decent defender this season, but the improvement he's shown speaks volumes about his current star status and the potential for him to be a top 5 player in the future. Edwards is far from your average pro athlete. He's unapologetically goofy and loves catching reporters off guard. With Edwards, you won't hear any cookie-cutter interview answers or cliché one-liners, just his unique, witty responses that have become known as Anthonyisms.
Where you from, Jim?
Ireland.
I like your accent. It's tough.
Oh.
I want to learn how to talk like that.
And I'm gonna be good on offense. See my earring? It's dancing.
Out of all the moments from Edwards' first 2 years in the NBA, nothing quite sticks like the quotes about his dog, who goes by the name Anthony Edwards Jr. Yes, he named his dog after himself. Pretty hilarious, right? Over time, he has shared more about his bond with Ant Jr., mixing heartwarming moments with pure comedy. Then there's the time he said, "I feel like Black Jesus." That unshakable confidence, the perfect delivery, it's the ultimate tribute to MJ, showing just how goofy Edwards can be. You usually don't get a second chance to make a first impression, but Edwards is rewriting the rules. During a historic playoff run, this rising NBA star dropped multiple versions of his new signature shoe. After debuting the Georgia Red Clay editions in March, Edwards made headlines with a monstrous poster dunk that left both him and Utah's John Collins injured. The NBA clip of the dunk went viral with nearly 11 million views. Not surprisingly, his newest AE1 sold out on Adidas' website shortly after their release. In July 2023, Edwards inked a huge 5-year contract extension, marking his next big leap into basketball stardom following his remarkable growth over his first 3 seasons. We're seeing new player rivalries emerge. While the classic rivalry between Steph Curry and LeBron James has been fun to watch, the Lakers and Warriors both facing challenges, both teams are now eliminated. The Lakers in the playoffs and the Warriors exited in the play-in, which takes some of the shine off this matchup. Edwards, despite being the unequivocal leader of his team, is not considered an MVP candidate. Edwards maintains impressive averages of 25.9 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 5.3 assists per game, with a shooting percentage of 46.3%. The limiting factor appears to be the talent surrounding him, notably Karl-Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert. Yet, perhaps surprisingly, both Edwards and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander have been likened to the legendary Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, recognized as the most similar to the best 2 players in league history, at least within this new era. Edwards is more than just a rising star. He's becoming a crucial leader for his team. His impact on the court is undeniable, with jaw-dropping dunks and clutch plays. But what sets him apart is his ability to rally his teammates, lift their spirits, and elevate everyone's game. Slowly but surely, Edwards is carving out a path to becoming the face of the league. With his charisma, skill, and infectious energy, he's capturing the attention of fans everywhere. Unstoppable or unbelievable.